So we're 11 days into 2025, and ADA has actually started off on a very good note. We're green for the year. Love being in the green numbers on the year to date. But we've also increased in the number of holders, and there's an interesting comparison compared to a few other top assets in the space. And what we're seeing is it actually takes less to do more with ADA. And I want to talk about this specifically and some very important signs that are happening with exchange supply as well. So if you guys are new or haven't already, make sure you hit that subscribe button down below. Hit that bell again. It's free to do. It'll keep you updated anytime there's new content live here on the channel. So just looking at the charts in terms of ADA, obviously we're still on a green day right now. Again, hopefully this continues over the course of the day, but we have actually started this year on a very strong note. I love seeing green candles, and this is the way these things typically build. We have 1 year of red and we have 3 years of green, 1 year of red, 3 years of green. This is typically how these market cycles play out. And so far, this has yielded a 10.92% yearly candle so far. That's a very strong move for ADA. And some others are making some very notable moves as well. XRP is up about 14% for the year. Some other top assets are making some strong moves as well. But what I found was kind of interesting is what holders are doing. So we have actually seen ADA add a modest 0.1% increase on its holders, adding about 2,800 wallets since the start of 2025. So what's interesting about this is, again, that 2,800 wallets added as this at the time of this, it's at a 14% year-to-date gain, but this actually brought us again to this 11% gain that we're at currently. So for comparison, if we take a look at something like Dogecoin, they actually added 29,000 wallets, which actually only added to a 7% increase. And comparing to XRP, that's actually added an additional 58,000 wallets in 2025 and adding about a 14% move. So what's interesting about this and what this kind of indicates is that ADA can in fact do more with less. It actually takes less holders to move the price up. And a big reason why this is the case is actually two reasons. One, because of the conviction of holders. We've talked about this time and time again. And when you have an asset with a quote unquote cult-like mentality, if people aren't willing to sell and the sellers are exhausted, what you're seeing is that most of this new addition is accumulation, right? And most of these new holders, they're accumulating and holding for the longer term movements. Now that isn't always the case, but again, if let's say we get 58,000 new holders, you can imagine what that's going to do to ADA price. But what's really interesting about ADA, and I've talked about before, is this concept of a supply shock. And what's interesting is that although this limited supply on exchanges has helped obviously ADA with that move that started in November and brought us to the first time above $1 since the prior bull market cycle, what we're still continuing to see is a very consistent theme in terms of exchange supply. And this is this accumulation and removal. Now, yesterday we saw an outflow of $4.02 million worth of ADA. The day before, we had $3.42 million of inflows. But for the most part, what you're seeing is this consistent trend of removal. In fact, when we look at the 1 week blocks of this, the last time we actually had a weekly inflow block was actually back on November 3rd. Okay. This is when people sent some ADA to exchanges. They took some profits, but you can see for the most part since then, it has been this consistent theme of removing supply. Now, why that is so important is if we think about, ADA DeFi, there's not really much for off ramps there. There's not really many places to park capital, right? Not any huge stables within the Cardano ecosystem. So this is actually probably one of the best gauges of trajectory that we can use. And what this is showing us is that the trajectory for ADA is going to be violent sometime in the very near future. Now, understand the biggest thing that we're waiting for still here in the crypto market is adoption. And why I'm saying this is we still haven't really seen this big inflow of outside capital yet. Okay. That's the biggest thing we're waiting for in the crypto market is when do we get that spark that brings in those new users, those new holders, those 400 million new people that we're waiting on for this up only season, right? And frankly, this can happen at any moment. And what we can see right now is even since basically December 19th, USDT dominance has stayed pretty much flat, meaning that there's still so much capital parked on the sidelines, not doing anything, waiting. And why this is such an important sign is, again, in the earlier video, we talked about January 20th being a day that you may start to see things open up a bit. Well, if we're not seeing this USDT dominance drop off yet in a way that we normally do, for example, this is where you would normally see us kind of continue this downtrend before actually getting a little spike back up because of that new capital flowing in. That means that this capital is looking for its moment to enter the market. And what do we have that is going to be that trigger? What is going to be that spark that makes people re-enter the market? It's probably the new administration. All right. Now, does that mean that we're not going to get any price movement in the meantime? No. We may have some building. We may have some trickle in of new holders. You'll probably see some people that are in the market currently doing some accumulating while discounts are here. We see this time and time again. And that's, again, been a very positive sign for ADA as well. Again, it takes less holders. You're seeing current holders doing some accumulating. People are right now, basically the biggest thing you need to know is they're taking advantage of the opportunities that the market is giving us. And all these signs are kind of aligning perfectly with ADA. And when this does hit, when we do see that big adoption surge, that's when, again, things like this limited supply, when you're going to see wallets take off in a big way, that's when you're going to get the big boom. It is coming. You just have to be patient and wait for it, right? So I know people are tired of waiting and being patient, but that's the thing that rewards you the most in this market. Your patience ends up getting rewarded in the long run. So appreciate you guys as always. I hope you enjoyed the video. Let me know your thoughts below, but have a great day. Catch you guys in the next one. Take care.